I am resident of College YouTube. Jules Sains, that is my buddy Alan Gallant, that is my buddy Patrick McCray. We are here to review Plan 9 from Outer Space. Very, very interesting movie. Aliens who raise the dead, who
Mhm.
kill people. These aliens are the most human looking aliens I've ever seen. Uh,
Definitely.
so, uh, when did you guys first see this? And I know we were talking about Ed Wood yesterday a bit, so that's why you guys chose this. When did you guys first see this movie?
I, I was probably right out of high school when I saw this movie. Completely warped me, sent me off on a left-handed trail that took me 15 years to recover from. Um, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it once I was old enough to be able to enjoy it for all of.
Appreciate what you were seeing.
Well, yes. So I was probably like 19 or something like that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Patrick?
It was November 1986. It was a cold night on the City by the Bay. No, I saw it in Chicago, actually, at Windy Con. But I'd heard about it for years. I'd read the Medved's books. Golden Turkey Awards, in fact, was my only companion when I was forced to go to a rather questionable summer program. And so I really memorized every word of it. I didn't always agree with them. You know, they invented kind of the bad movie fetishizing that
Yes.
later would become such a part of the film culture,
Right.
and I think is like their politics way too reductionist. It's far too simplistic, and it's picking on what seems to be low hanging fruit and
It
other
does. Now,
cliches.
I will say that Mystery Science Theater does that, I consider them to be doing it in more or less a good-natured, satirical way, just having
It is
fun with it rather than commenting on whether or not it's the most terrible thing ever.
sure.
Although they do sometimes do that, but it's usually in fun. They're joking around with it. They're not doing this.
Yeah.
That's not their purpose. So
Um,
that's how I got turned on to EGA was
no
Mystery
God,
Science Theater.
Richard Keel
Yes,
shaving.
yes.
That's an astounding film. So yeah, I've been reading about the Ed Wood stuff for a long time, and finally there it was. I think I saw this and Leonard Glenda, and I think in terms of just sheer laughs, Leonard Glenda is or was, it may be on PC now in a whole new way. I thought it was a pretty good movie in its own weird way, but certainly funnier going
Hmm.
into these nightmarish kind of dream sequences and things like that with
Yes.
Captain Bezita running around as the devil and so on. And I love that. I love that. Uh, but Plan 9 still has most of that stuff in it.
Yes.
It's just a little more straight faced.
It's yeah, and it reeks of 1957. We're getting ready to, expand our horizons, and the space race and all of this other wonderful stuff is beginning to happen. It's the perfect year for this film. Um, I guess they filmed it in 56, but it came out in 57. So,
Yeah.
um, and the reason that the wider audience got to it was because it was actually sold to television, like in the early 60s. And they started to package it. I'm Dan Curtis. God knows he may have sold it for the MCA. I don't know. But when he was selling those packages, that's when it got to a wider audience. And I'm sure people, I mean, before people were told what to think of it, I'm sure it was a
Yeah.
varied response to this thing, much, much more varied response.
Even though this version was colorized, which is, a terrible thing to do to a movie, even those movies colorized, I feel like the colorization was done with a lot of respect And somehow I feel like there was just a lot of respect handled with the transfer overall.
Yeah.
Looking at the opposite side of that attitude you were talking about.
I just saw a high definition black and white. I've never seen the colorized version of it, so
Ah,
yeah, I haven't seen
it's,
that. But
it's
I
on
did. I saw
Tubi.
there's an HD black and white version on YouTube. So that's what I watched.
Did you send out a clip for that?
What's that?
Did we send out a link for that?
I just went and found it myself. I don't
How's
know
it
if
look?
we sent up a link. So
How does it look?
the HD black and white looks great.
Yeah.
Looks
All right.
fantastic. I mean, it's an original. It's the original edit, so it's got some awkward cuts in it here, like the original has. But I always thought he did a really great job with a limited amount of stock footage that he had.
The movie looks good.
Yeah,
It's artfully exposed.
yeah,
It may not be dripping with atmosphere, but the story is told well. The
yeah.
the, the camera work in no way gets in the way of the rest of the movie.
No, and I mean, you can see where his limitations were, sure. But like he couldn't. He filmed daylight scenes that were supposed to be at night because he didn't have the
Sure.
proper lensing to do the nighttime stuff in the daytime. But and then it would switch to the set where it was pitch black except for the actors and the tombstones. But what the hell? That's part of the charm of the whole thing.
It is. It is.
And
Joel, I'm sorry.
I wanted to do a bit of trivia. Trivia. The ruler, of course, and some might say this is a coded performance, but it's not. He's just as flamboyant as he seems. The ruler was played by John Breckinridge, who, by the way, was known in L.A. as a drag queen for many
Mhm.
many years, and was also known. He wanted to do trans surgery at one point, but he never got around to it. And this story got around, and Gore Vidal went to him and asked for his permission to use his story as inspiration for some piece of work that he was going to be doing. And John Breckinridge thought he was going to do a biography of him, but as it turns out, he used him as part of the inspiration for Myra Breckinridge.
Bunny,
Yep.
John Bunny Breckinridge.
Yep.
Ed Wood had a lot of interestingly named companions. He had Captain Dezita, who is a wrestler.
Yep.
He had Charles Cooper, who played in some of the latter Star Trek movies as a portly Klingon in
Yeah.
Star Trek V. He's that guy.
Yep.
And then he plays Kempek in Next Generation, who gets killed, and the Dura sisters get set up on him. So you got Captain Azita running around, and then of course Bela. But then you also had a guy named Kenny Duncan, and Kenny Duncan had an unusual nickname as well, Horsecock.
Yeah.
And not since who's it, Georgia Engel have I known of an actor with that name.
And it was for different reasons, clearly.
Julie Haggerty.
And of course, we've got Vampira.
Yes, Malin Ermey,
who went on to, I mean, she was interviewed ad nauseum because of her. She had one of the earliest, horror host shows.
Yeah.
Which is how she became famous. She was a model, and you can tell that she had a waist that was only about that freaking.
Yeah, she tried to sue Elvira. Well, she did
Yes,
sue
but
Elvira, but
it didn't work because she was alive into the 90s, I think, or maybe even in the 2000s. I mean, she was around for quite a while, and she was one of the denizens of LA for many years.
I had a close encounter for a number of times with one of the characters in Ed Wood. I don't know if his equivalent even shows up in Glen or Glenda, but boy, he sure does in Plan 9.
Yeah.
And that's the shorter, certainly more Italian looking of the two cops.
Oh, okay.
Paul Marco,
Yeah.
and Paul's got to be passed away by now. But Paul and I met at a show in LA, and he became desperate for me to run his fan club. He legitimately pre-internet, how
Yeah.
exhausting, mimeograph in the basement kind of fan
Yeah.
club. Yeah, called
Self-addressed stamp
Kelton
envelopes,
the
all that
Cop.
good shit. Yeah.
It's gonna be Kelton the Cop. He thought kids are gonna love Kelton the Cop.
Yeah.
I
You kind of had to turn him down, didn't you? Damn
well,
it.
I did. I was moving, but I wanted to bring him into alignment with reality without shattering him.
Sure.
Couldn't figure out how to do it, so I stuck with delusion.
Yeah. Yeah. And exit gracefully, or as
Yeah,
gracefully as
I'm not
possible.
going to be cast as Dr. Carrasco anytime soon. You know, that's not a perk for me. He's a horrible, horrible character. Um,
Yes.
Jewel,
Yes.
oh, you poor man. Oh, we've been going on and on and on. Tell us about your relationship with this movie.
I first watched this movie in 2002, so I didn't watch it till later. It was on actually TCM of all places. About two, it's weird. They would show movies real late at night, and there's no real reason to air this movie at like 2:30 in the morning, but they did.
Hmm.
Usually, when you would see movies come on that late, there was bad stuff in it, and they didn't necessarily censor the movie. But no, not that TCM censors their movies. But this here, I watched it in black and white. I watched it in color today. I like how when they're in color too, because some of it looks really good, though the plot is crazy and a bit cuckoo. But it's an entertaining movie. It's fun to watch. You are entertained from start to finish. It's not that long. It goes rather quickly. A lot of the things they use, they kind of keep going back to like the main characters, which makes sense. But it's like the big dude carrying the woman, and then he gets hit over the head and he drops her. It's like okay, okay. The bullets don't phase him, but a hit over the head does. Okay, I'm good
Right.
with that.
Well,
Um,
they at least they try to explain that with the idea
yeah,
that the Scrooge gun was turned off or something, and so he fell down.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so, at least they made an effort there. But I mean, yeah, the plot is kind of cobbled together partially because of all of this film footage that Wood had of Lugosi, and he wanted to use it, and he did use it. And I mean, you have to allow a certain amount of his creativity putting this thing together. Part of the reason why a lot of people say it's trash, which I'm not in that particular camp, is because of all of the sort of sticking together of these scenes. But actually, in terms of what Ed Wood does or did, and it was a pretty good expression of what really passed as creativity for him. And I appreciate his ability to do that. Like I say, he he had almost no money to do these things with, and yet somehow he got a hold of some stock footage. He had this footage of Lugosi that he was going to use for something, but then Lugosi died, and he just figured, we got to use this. This is a selling point, obviously. Plus, uh, he ended up dreaming up something that actually connected it. This couple, and she dies, and then she dies, and then all of a sudden the aliens bring them back to life. That kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, it kind of it's its own brilliance. It's low budget brilliance, but it is. Um, I mean, obviously, Ed Wood got kind of a bad rap because he was on the edges and of society in a lot of ways. Some of his subject matter was definitely on the edge. Glenn or Glenda would have been a fair example of that. But Plan 9 was not really. Plan 9 was sci-fi, and that was really popular at that time and incredibly acceptable to do as film. So he decided to do it, and it works in certain ways, and in other ways it's like, oh, okay, I see where the band-aid is here, and all of that sort of thing, because it is low budget. But at the same time, if you just lay back and let that happen, you can have a lot of fun with a movie like this. And that's what I chose to do. The first time I saw it, I mean, I won't lie, I kind of giggled at a few things, laughed out loud at a few things. But also, after maybe another viewing, I started to see, yeah, okay, this is kind of this is this guy's vision. And then
Mhm.
I'd seen Glenn or Glenda, and that, and I said, okay, I see what he's doing. This
Yeah,
guy's like the Tom Waits of budget films,
it is.
and at the time I was big into Tom Waits, so I was like, yeah, this is cool. Um, but he was part of that fringe scene in L.A. and Southern, in Hollywood or whatever you want to go. He of course he puts the big banner up, filmed in Hollywood. Because most
USA.
people don't know what Hollywood is as a real place. Aside from Grauman's Chinese and a few high-end places for stars to be seen and taken pictures of, it ain't so much. It's just a
It isn't. It isn't.
place.
If you have a burning desire to enjoy a $15 hot dog
Yeah.
that has none of the interesting embellishments that a gourmet restaurant might put on it,
Mm-hmm.
it's your place to go.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It is still the ultimate tourist place to go after 80, 90 years. Um, go look at Grauman's Chinese, go look at where all the old stars used to live, all that sort of thing. But actually, most of the old stars didn't live in Hollywood per se. They lived in Burbank or Beverly Hills. But
I
um,
have a question. Does this conversation imply that perhaps the concept of a good movie and a bad movie, well, both conversations are worth having
yeah,
philosophically?
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
I mean, obviously, there's a myriad, a literal diversity of taste when it comes to these kind of movies. A lot of people appreciate them and collect them. I know somebody that collected VHS tapes of every off genre movie that they could find, and had like hundreds and hundreds of them, and really truly enjoyed them. And other people just kind of go, oh no, I'm going to watch The Graduate instead. That won a few awards, didn't it? And everything in between. And I think it's all legit. And I think that when you go good versus bad, it does kind of become personal. Or you can, if you want to, you can just go along with what other people tell you. But I don't feel that way about most films. I've really enjoyed some films that people thought were trash, and I've
Yeah.
also not enjoyed films that people thought were the greatest piece of art ever made. So
Yeah.
it, it it doesn't necessarily reflect on the film itself what you feel about it,
Yeah.
but it might if you if you have enough expertise and sort of agreement about it, you can probably put it in a category if you want, but that's still not going to make it so for everybody.
Yeah. This movie has some cool scenes in it. I
Oh yeah.
do like the fact that you do get Bela Lugosi in this movie. Uh,
And
I
it's
like
once you get his
yeah,
ghost possessing people, even though that's
yeah,
not the story he's telling.
yeah.
Right. Right.
I like how the aliens kill off their own dead guy. It's like really.
Well, it's one of those things where that's a bare thread of the plot, is that somehow we're going to take over the world if we raise the dead. I
Yeah,
mean, that's something you kind of got to go with it.
Well,
yeah.
okay, say that sentence again. We're going to take over the world if we can raise the dead.
Going to raise the dead by taking. Yeah, we're
Well,
going to take
that
over
is
the
the
world.
emperor's assertion that
Yes.
both those things are going to happen. So yeah, I see
Right.
what you mean. Getting back to the subject, good versus bad. I think it deserves a little reevaluation. One of the reasons I don't like mystery science theater and things like that is that I can provide my own lines. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
Number one. Number two, some of the movies I like. I like
Yes.
some films that they covered, and so I'm not always crazy about the implication.
Yeah.
Of being roped into those things.
What was
Um,
that kid's name that was in Ega? Archie something or other. He made a whole bunch of movies
yeah,
because his dad was producing them or something like that.
yeah,
Most of those are kind of fun to watch.
yeah. Oh, sure they're fun. Uh, that kind of went on to middle school, and then my father got whisked away to another state, and things happened, and so the screen flips 4 years later. I'm going to my first class in Bangladesh tomorrow, and there are Indian people seemingly in the train next to us, traveling the same speed. I thought, oh, interesting. And so that's the kind of weirdness that takes place after midnight when you're filming stuff. You get very
Hmm.
good at improvisation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
What's going on?
I really like the fact too in this movie that you get some cool shots. Too. The cinematography looks good. It does give a creepy feel to it too, with the dead walking and stuff like that. So, and hey, this is
Skipping,
yeah, and
not
this is
skipping.
yeah, and this is before Night of the Living Dead. So,
Oh yeah. Way before. Um,
Only I had a card for that.
Speaking of wrestlers, Tor Johnson, of course, is in this, and it's. I'd forgotten what what a wraparound his version of a hard-boiled American detective is, because you can kind of hear, his low country accent in that. But at the same time, he does a good college try. He seems pretty comfortable, you know, and and there's an interesting dichotomy of acting approaches in this movie too. Some people are trying their damnedest to do something more along the lines of a sort of a method performance, and some of them are succeeding at it very well.
Yeah,
And then other people are sort of just giving a presentational sort of
yeah.
performance. So you get this interesting dichotomy. And again, it's Ed Wood's company of actors kind of feel to it too.
yeah.
Several of these people he's used
But
before, and so they're kind of, it's kind of almost a family situation going on for some of these people and Ed, um, and that you kind of get an idea of that. And of course, the classic scene where he does this with a gun and all of that sort of thing, which is
oh yeah,
that's, I still have to laugh at that. I mean, I just have to. It's just like, okay.
yeah.
But he's committed to the scene. He's not like making it into some kind of campy thing. He's just,
Well, okay. So it comes back to I've given this one before. That's my favorite Christopher Isherwood quote because I have so many. Uh, ask someone who's a big camp enthusiast. You say, okay, well, name three movies you think are good, and chances are one or two of them will be Nuremberg type films. That seems to
yeah,
be what everyone's into.
yeah,
And so, out of desperation, I eventually say, okay, you can just do that. So they keep doing the screenings, but that's what they go home and do for the class, and then they go and they give the presentation. Her presentation was pretty good. Some of them were not.
yeah,
And I mean, as you showbiz, you're going to have some sort of, line. But I got to do something worthwhile with them. It's not just AIDS, or every other medical special when we are growing up was that.
sure, sure,
So I've been trying to figure out what it would be.
yeah,
Because if I can A, divert them, B, divert and support them, uh, that's God's work. That's nice to be able to
uh-huh,
to do that. So
yeah,
if you have any thoughts, let me know.
I will, yeah, I will think about that for a while.
Jewel and signaling
Excuse
the
me,
bartender
yeah,
uh, to tip and close out. I think this is the
Yeah.
time.
Yes. Yes. Uh, is what's your favorite scenes before we go? You got anything?
Who, me?
Yeah. Any? Yeah.
Solarmanite. Anything about Solarmanite?
yeah. Yeah, that's right. The entire explanation,
Why they're
Yeah.
doing it?
It's great. It's great. And the final statement is these guys are clearly way ahead of us, after this sort of, and they're all enrobed in this satiny material, and it's all wonderful. It's all wonderful.
You can actually hear part of this movie in Halloween H2O when
Oh, yeah?
the kid gets the skates to the face. Like he's watching this. He was watching the movie before he was untimely killed by Michael. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah, that's all we got. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook and Map will be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Cullen's Port After Dark will be in the description box. I'm doing a Dark Shadows episode tomorrow with Chloe Thomas. You guys interested or?
Yeah.
What's the episode you're doing?
Hold on.
And when are we doing this? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 10.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow at 10. Tomorrow at 10.
Yeah,
10.
sure.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
Hold on.
Should be able to be home by 10 for sure. Just.
Where'd she go? 11:14.
Okay.
11:14.
Sure.
No problem.
So,
all right.
I would like to put a film up for consideration.
Please.
You don't have to do it immediately.
Sure.
But this was a film that was done in the mid 60s, 66 as a matter of fact. It's called The Incident.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of, I mean, around the same time, Amiri Baraka's Dutchman was made into a film as well. And this takes place, similarly, it takes place on a subway car. Except in this case, it's the characters aren't really particularly symbolic. It's a bunch of hoods that get on and start messing with people. And the names that you might know that are in this rather not totally forgotten but kind of set aside film, also shot in black and white. Some of the people in it: Beau Bridges, Ruby Dee, Jack Gilford, Ed McMahon, Gary Merrill, Donna Mills, Tony Musanti, Brock Peters, Thelma Ritter, Martin Keane, Jan Sterling. Those are some of the names that you might know.
When is this? November?
What?
Well, wait. What were these people related to?
Those were all in the movie The Incident.
Oh, I thought for some reason I got confused. We're talking about something else.
No.
Is The Incident in Esperanto?
No.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking probably of one of Shatner's movies that he made.
Yeah.
Shatner was in this one,
Incubus.
so yeah.
Incubus. Yeah. All right.
And Jewel has already found it and sent it to us, so we can do that at some point in the near future.
I love the near future. Let's go there.
But we'll do DS tomorrow.
How's Sunday? How's Sunday for
Sunday's good for The Incident. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. You have a good night. Take care.
You as well.
Good show.